Hello everyone. Hi guys, how are you? Hope you're all doing well. Today I'm going to be talking about something a little bit touchy and a little bit sensitive. I'm going to be talking about وبسولف لكم, and this is going to be bilingual, so please bear with me if you don't speak either or. بس اليوم بسولف لكم شوي about what's happening in the lockdown zones. فوق هذا, what is the no work no pay system, وفوق كل هذا, what can you do to ensure that the businesses that you are supporting are ethical businesses, or a way to help them become more ethical businesses. I'm gonna just wait a few minutes. I feel like people are gonna tune in. Are you guys interested in this topic? Would you guys like me to express? If you guys have any questions, please do let me know. And I am more than happy to elaborate. يعني إذا عندكم أي أسئلة عن أي شيء that happens inside the lockdown zones ويا المقيمين ويا الموظفين, let me know عشان I can find a way. إذا I don't know, I can find a way to find out the answer for you. I think maybe I should start. Yes. So I would at some point also like to do something. I want to thank you. I want to bring in a few entrepreneurs in the next few lives. Nas that are involved in the food and beverage industry, in the corporate industry, and kind of pick their brain about why do some entrepreneurs do these things. See, I have people up here saying we haven't been paid. Why do certain entrepreneurs do things like this? And how can we help lessen the burden on the employee and on the entrepreneur itself? لأن المشكلة is, it's not always just on the entrepreneur. المشكلة sometimes falls in the actual system itself. So I think we should start. أول شيء, I want to tell you guys about what's going on inside the lockdown zones with the expat communities, and I know a lot of the expats are here اليوم. اللي صاير بالlockdown zones حاليا في شركات, there are certain companies مو دافعين معاشات. So basically they don't want to pay because the employee can't work. So what happens is, it's called the no work no pay system. No work no pay system technically هو قانونيا illegal. It is not allowed. You cannot withhold pay from your employee, especially when it comes to existential circumstances مثل اللي صاير هني. I'm curious why Haya is laughing. فاللي بيصير إن في entrepreneurs مو دافعين حق, they are thank you. Okay, we have a question that I'm gonna look forward to. فاللي صاير إن داخل lockdown zones الموظفين ما قاعد يندفع لهم معاشاتهم ولا رواتبهم. So what happens is, هالموظف عنده savings, خلينا نقول savings can only last a certain مدة. Until then الموظف وين بيصرف, شنو بيصرف عشان يدفع الأجار ولا يدفع الماتشلة, ولا how are these employees going to pay for their rent or their groceries or just their basic survival needs if they're not being paid? So what happens is, currently what's happening inside the lockdown zones, the lockdown zones that are what's happening inside the lockdown zones is something I've never seen in Kuwait, and I've spoken about it before on my previous live when we talked about what's happening during the start of COVID and all of the pandemic and the lockdown. It's only getting worse from here. أنا للحين ما شفت any improvement حتى لما فتحوا المطاعم, at least جزئي. I'm seeing no improvement. بالعكس, I'm seeing a worse, a decline in the amount of employees that are being supported. Okay, so what's happening inside the lockdown zones is, أول شيء, الناس, they don't have money to buy their necessities or pay their rent. Landlords, unfortunately, unlike a lot of the landlords that came out, are still forcing the employees to pay أجار. your tenant is forced to pay a jar. A lot of these tenants don't know that it is technically not allowed to evict someone out of the house. So what some landlords do is they turn off the takif, the AC, they turn off the electricity. They try to do whatever they can to entice this tenant to leave. And what happens is a lot of these tenants don't understand that they actually have the right to stay, especially in existential circumstances like this. لأن if your landlord were to take you to court, it's going to be another few years before the landlord can even see the court with the amount of cases that are happening right now by the time the country opens up again. And when you do go to court, please also understand that they are not going to be able to get anything out of you due to the fact that you have papers that show they withheld pay. فوق الهذا, you have papers that show that you are in a lockdown zone, pandemic, you can't get out of the lockdown zone. When all of this is happening, the court is going to side with you as a tenant. But a lot of these people don't have a lawyer to explain these things to them. A lot of them revert to يعني يدورون, yes, exactly, cancel, no work, no pay. يدورون بالزبايل, يشحدون بالشوارع, يشحدون عشان الناس يشترون لهم الفورمولا مال البيبيز. I've never seen so many messages that just involve people asking for baby formula or baby diapers. المشكلة also is that our جمعيات are not stocking enough baby supplies. And the people who do have baby supplies, always the markup is extremely high. So what happens is that these people are not being able to afford these baby supplies. Once something was 2 kd per can, now is 7 kd per can because there's a monopoly on it. The concept is business owners sometimes can be very irresponsible. I'm not saying all, because I do know business owners are trying their best, and I know some business owners who are really doing their best to take care of their employees. What we are doing is offering these people who currently don't have a way in to get in touch with their employer. They work for a big company. Their employers are just being damn ignorant. What we're doing is we are giving them these food boxes. I honestly think an idea is, and I thought this was something that would be great, is if you have a business or you know someone with a business that cannot afford to pay their employees full salary, go on to Foodbox, the place we've been collaborating with, buy them a food essential box that will last them a month, send it to their house. Foodbox collaborates with our team all the time, so if there is a box that they need to get into a lockdown zone, they can do it through us. This is a way that you can simply support your employees. You don't have to pay them a full maash if you can't. If you can cover just their basic needs, which is their rent and their groceries, it's understandable. If you can just pay a part of their rent, a part of their salary, this way they can at least support their family back home. You're not paying a full salary, but what you can do is take that 38 KD 700 fils, buy the boxes from Foodbox, and provide to your employees. There is 100 different ways you can support your employees if you are a proper entrepreneur that understands business and understands your responsibility towards your employees. لأن أنت at the end of the day هذيل الemployees هم أمانة برقبتك. These people are coming on your visa. These are people who are working for you. If you don't think about this 1, 2, 3 months that you can't support them, these people have been bringing you money for as long as they've worked for you. These people are the reason you are succeeding right now. فأنت you need to think towards that. Be a proactive leader. لأن اللي صاير داخل lockdown zones, if you don't have a car, you can't get the جمعية. مهبولة does not have a co-op. مهبولة as a منطقة, their co-op is in Abu Hlayfa or something like the منطقة يمهم. So what happens is they're restricted to a Lulu market. What happened with Lulu market is they found cases of corona. So currently there is no جمعية. They have mini marts, but if you don't have a car, you can't get there. So when you want to go to the mini mart, you're going to walk. You're going to walk. There's only a limited amount of stuff you can carry. Until you can't go and take 3 people with you due to the curfew and the تصاريح. فاللي صاير, it gets very difficult for a lot of them to do something. See, the most thing people are asking about is rent. They can't pay their rents. At least أنت كowner, what you can do is talk to the landlord. إذا أنت مو مسكنهم, talk to the landlord and tell them, listen, أجلها شهر شهرين نعوضك. We will give you a letter from the business. There are so many different ways you can actually figure out how to help your staff just cover their basic necessities. I have a case of a woman in Mahbula who couldn't pay her rent, who couldn't buy groceries because it's been 3 months since her company paid her and laid her off. She was eating sticky rice for 2 weeks, and the landlord turned off the electricity and the AC in her apartment, so she was sitting in a dark, hot apartment eating sticky rice for 2 weeks until someone got her. That is a subpar living condition if we're going to think about Kuwait standards. That is not something that should be happening. And the problem is with Mahbula is a very out of the way area. For a lot of people don't realize Mahbula needs so much help. Mahbula, Farwania and Jalib are under extreme duress. Hawali is pretty bad as well. Hawali, however, has a mix. It's like a melting pot, so you don't see it as obviously as you do in Mahbula, in Farwania and in Jalib. The thing is, in Jalib, is people are banding together to collect bread. I applaud the Jaish, I applaud the Ministry of Interior for doing the things that they're doing right now and going out and giving out bread, supplies. I have a friend who is working with Maghfar Jalib Shuyukh to keep the family boxes there and then call people to come pick up the family boxes when their turn comes. Thing is, there's only so many of us who can handle so many people. I have 4,000 requests. 4,000 requests for food boxes and food support. Within the week that I created this Google form and turned it into an Excel sheet, we have 4,000 requests. And that is after we removed duplicates. And then people were so worried that their turn wouldn't come that they were applying multiple times. But you need to understand that this wada, at the end of the day, إحنا ككويتيين كعرب, we are sitting in the homes of our families. We are comfortable. These people are not. These people are living paycheck to paycheck. When you dock off that percentage, they can survive for a little bit. But when you go no work, no pay, هذا الشيء أول شيء, if I'm not mistaken, قانونيا غلط. And we have a lawyer up in here, so if you wanna pop in and tell me. But from what I know, قانونيا, that is not acceptable. And which is what Wizarat al-Shu'un is for right now. But Wizarat al-Shu'un is closed, so some companies are taking full advantage. And the thing is, someone put to my attention that if the big companies are doing this, then why would the small companies not? When I look and I see companies that are, I can't name currently, but that are openly firing and laying off and withholding pay, and no one can say anything, obviously the smaller companies are going to follow suit. If the biggest food and beverage tycoons in Kuwait are withholding pay from their employees, why wouldn't this newbie do it? I do see so many young entrepreneurs with their first, second projects that are out there really, really making sure that their employees are taken care of. If they can't pay their salaries, they are making sure that the basic necessities are there for their employees. Best when you withhold their pay, know that you are literally withholding any chance of basic needs for these people. I had a question up in here I wanted to reply to. Just a second. Okay. Okay. Being an expat here in Kuwait, and when the owner of the school tells you I can't pay you anymore, it makes me think like, okay, I can survive for some time, but what next? The thing is, I understand what's happening right now. A lot of people don't know when are we going to open up again? When are we going to be able to apply for jobs? When are we going to be able to get to reality or real life? In a termination situation like this, honestly, I don't have any advice because I don't have any expertise in this. But what I can say is, I actually don't know. I wish I could tell you, really, really. Off the top of my head, I can't think of anything that you could be able to do that could pass if you don't have any savings, which is what we're facing right now with a lot of the service industry workers. When you're taking rent from these service industry workers, you're taking the last things that they have. Oh, ما عندهم شيء عقبها. So yes, what can you do? My next topic was what can you do to make sure that the business you are supporting or buying from is an ethical business. I do have a lot of the names of companies that are withholding pay. I do. That is a part of my Google form. I cannot release it legally. However, what I prefer to do is, first of all, talk to the staff. If you are going to somewhere that has the staff out there, have a conversation with them. Talk to them, see if they are getting paid, if they've taken pay cuts. A lot of them will tell you if they learn to trust you or if you're going through, if you have been with them a long time. Talk to them about what their situation is. See, do they have any employees that are in lockdown zones? How are they being taken care of? This way you'll slowly gain information about knowing these companies. ثانيا, if you do know a company that isn't paying, I really urge you, because this is what I'm doing with a lot of the people I know in the food and beverage industry that isn't paying, is do what we do. Go to Food Box, buy a box and have it delivered. That's all you need to do. The family box costs 38 KD 700 to last a family a month. Until now, we don't have a salary. There's no support from our company. This is what's happening. I applaud all of the companies. I did a poll about the companies who are supporting, and I applaud them so much for doing it, because so many companies I have worked with, I'm so proud to say, are great to their employees. However, there are so many companies I worked with that are withholding pay from their employees. I'll give you guys examples. Very well known restaurant and bakery currently paid their employees 25 KD for the month. This came to me from an employee in the HR department itself. This information was volunteered to me. I did not ask for it. They have paid their employees 25 KD for the month and told them that's what you're getting paid for the month. Second of all, this does not cover rent nor basic needs. Second case, a restaurant, very, very well-known restaurant. I tweeted about it, actually. Again, withholding the name. This restaurant is a very, very, very successful burger place that withheld pay for a month. And then, for the month of May, paid their employees 20 KD for the month and told them, figure it out. If it wasn't for someone that I knew, that knew the employees, these employees wouldn't have anywhere to turn to or anyone to turn to. We helped support them with the food needs and whatnot, and thankfully their landlord was very, very understanding about their situation, but unfortunately not all landlords are like this. You guys need to understand that a lot of the people who are going through no work, no pay are having to choose right now between paying their rent or paying for food. Never should you have to pick between the two basic necessities of a human: your rent, that roof over your head, or your food. A lot of these people who are coming to Kuwait and leaving their families are dependent on the income that they make per month, whether it be 100 KD, 120, 150. You guys can read the comments and see what a lot of these amazing, such kind souls are dealing with right now. They are not getting paid. They are not getting any form of support. There is a company that is sending a kilo of rice and a kilo of lentils to their employees once per week. There are 6 or 7 employees in an apartment. You expect someone to eat rice and lentils every day while you're sitting at home eating majboos and eating al-akhdar wal-yabas and going out and getting your coffee and your Starbucks and your whatever and just carrying on with your life while these people are stuck in a lockdown zone with nothing to eat. Is that the sign of a successful entrepreneur? Is that the kind of business you people want to support? Because personally, I don't support a business that is like this. And the thing is, if you don't get to the source of it, which is talking to the central bank, because the central bank, from what I know, again, not completely sure about this fact, from what I spoke to some entrepreneurs about, is the central bank will not help support you if you're able to pay your employees. So what happens is a lot of entrepreneurs say, it's okay, we'll withhold pay. Let the central bank support us until the crisis is over, and then we can give them pay after. But if you don't give them pay during this 3 months, how are they going to survive to get to the after? You are currently losing your employees' loyalty. You're losing your employees' trust. You're losing your employees' respect, because at the end of the day, you're leaving them out to dry when they helped you when you needed it. At the end of the day, you wouldn't have a business without your employees. These are things, as an entrepreneur and as a business owner, you need to think about. It's not just about how much money you're saving or supporting. Your business could hopefully survive after this. Even if it closes down, you can always try again. Our government, thankfully, alhamdulillah, our government gives us enough support that if I want to start a project, I can always find a way to do that. But your employees are not going to be able to survive these 3 months without the money that you are supposed to pay them. Because you, as an employer, don't always include accommodation. Don't always include food. Don't always include these necessities in their salary. So what do you expect them to do? Do you expect after the pandemic that they're going to come back and work for you? Do you expect that after the pandemic there's going to be any respect for you whatsoever? No. You are losing your own staff. Do you think the word won't get around that you did this to your employees? Because at the end of the day, this entire community is going to know that you did this. How are you going to get employees after these ones leave you if all of them know that you did not care about them? You did not put them or their needs first. I have a question. Oh, I did ask a question, and I'm very impressed. I got about 40 replies on this question in the past few hours regarding what companies are supporting their staff greatly. And I am so happy to see so many big and small companies are able to. Another thing, people are worried about their family in lockdown zones. Lockdown zones have been difficult because a lot of their jam'iyas are running out of supplies. They're not being stocked properly. There's such an influx and pressure on these co-ops that they can't keep up, even if it's a 24 hours, mulahkin. And a lot of the time, people in lockdown zones, especially your low educated workers, do not have a way to go online. They don't know how to go online and apply for an appointment in the jam'iyah. So when you do this, you are essentially stopping them from being able to go and get the necessities. Why is that a thing? You should be at least figuring out a way to get supplies to these people. When I have a form that people need to fill out to apply for the food box, I have people who call me and say, we don't know how to do this. I don't speak English or I don't speak Arabic. So what I do is I sit on the phone with them and take all this information down and fill it out myself and then translate it into the Excel sheet with the list. If I were to show you guys the number, thank you so much guys, like really means a lot. But if I were to show you guys the number of people who applied for these boxes and the living conditions they live in, it's terrible. It's terrible. I've seen apartments that have 50 plus people in them. I've seen families, 20 families live in one apartment. 20 families in one little broken down apartment villa. And that's unacceptable. It's unacceptable that their kids need to fear eating. It's unacceptable that when I deliver a box or my team delivers a box to a family, When the kids see this box and they open it and they see a pack of biscuits, they get so excited because that is not a luxury that they have been able to receive since the pandemic. It's not okay that people can't buy a simple pack of chips for their kids. They can't buy diapers for their babies. They can't buy baby formula. This is all things that you as an entrepreneur are withholding. You are literally telling them you cannot take care of your kids. And that is unethical, immoral, and just damn wrong. Like, where do you get off as an entrepreneur withholding your pay while you sit at home? You sit in your parents' house that was given to you by the government, getting da'am amala, also by the government, tamween by the government, and you are withholding pay from people? Oh, someone mentioned something that was pretty important, the psychological stress that this puts on families. Psychological stress, when you put parents in such a state that they are psychologically panicking, constantly not being able to sleep at night, worrying about whether they're going to be able to feed their kids or be able to pay their rent. Are they going to get kicked out tomorrow? Are they going to find someone that's going to help them tomorrow? Is the Red Crescent going to come to them tomorrow to drop off food? I know that when we are doing these food boxes, a lot of these families have a lot of psychological stress because they don't know when their food box is going to come. But keep in mind, we are a team of maximum 10 people handling 4,000 requests. We don't have the funding for that. There is government funding that is going out, but it's not enough. Another thing, people committing suicide because they don't understand or they don't know what to do with their lives. The suicide rates in Kuwait have increased dramatically, especially in the expat communities, because they don't know what they're going to do. They get kicked out of their apartment. They don't have food. They don't have a means to support themselves nor their families. So what happens is they get so depressed that they actively choose to end their life because that to them is a better option than starving to death. Is that fair? Is that fair? Because in my opinion, that is not fair at all. That is not fair that we as entrepreneurs, as leaders, as whatever, I would love it. Anyone that wants to join us in distributing and join us in any sponsorship of the boxes, please contact me. We always need people. And yes, we accept volunteers who are not Kuwaiti and who don't speak Arabic. Yes, because we don't just do lockdown zones. There are employees that are suffering outside lockdown zones too. Don't forget that. Another point, it's really sad to see that a lot of expats come here to earn and give a better life to their family back home only to get screwed over here. That's the simplest term. They get screwed over because this is not just a Kuwait problem. That's the thing. That's what I want to explain to people. Do not think that I'm just saying this is a Kuwait problem. This is an international problem. This is a problem that we face all over the world. Okay, yes, anyone that wants to volunteer, please contact me again. I'm sorry, my DMs are full. I'm trying my best. Again, I am a one-man show. Not a one-man show, actually. I have a whole team, but answering the messages is a one-man show. And I want to thank all of the people who have received support from us, who are constantly supporting us. I have 3 or 4 different families that we helped with these boxes. Now they are helping us. What they do is they take the block that they live in, whether it be in Hawali, Salmiya, Mahbula, or Farwaniya, and we send boxes to them. We send them a list of people that need to collect these boxes or need these boxes to be delivered, and these people are just so amazing. They take out of their day, seeing as they're not really doing anything. They feel like they want to put it towards doing something better and pay it forward. So these amazing humans take these boxes and go out and start delivering or telling people to come pick up their boxes. This way we're covering more ground. Because of the immense pressure on us, we aren't being able to cover all the families that we do. So we are constantly looking for people who are willing to sponsor boxes for families. If you're willing to sponsor 10 boxes for a family, that would be great. If you're willing to sponsor more, if you're willing to sponsor less, I would be more than happy if you're willing to sponsor one, because at the end of the day, one family eating for a month, it's amazing. In the US and Canada, the government supported people who stopped working. The thing is, here, Kuwait does support Kuwaitis who stop working. But unfortunately, we don't have a system for expats or residents in Kuwait. There is no support system for residents in Kuwait to who don't work. There is no support system for that. A lot of employees, and this is something I've heard, is either accept the fact that we aren't going to pay you now and you have a job later, or you are going to be terminated now. I wish I could change the system. Unfortunately, this is a rigged system. This is a system that at the end of the day, one person can't change. Gonna need a lot of support for when I run for Majlis Al-Ummah to fix all of this stuff. But point being, guys, I want to make an announcement. First of all, if you don't have a means to support your employees, you can't pay them, please purchase boxes from us or Foodbox and get a way to get these boxes. We will deliver these boxes to lockdown zones. I am volunteering my entire group, and I know all of them would be open to doing this and be so happy to do it. 2025, I'm not still going to be of legal age for the parliament, so give me the next one. But if you do know a company that can't pay their employees, please urge them to purchase food packs for them. At least a way for their employees to be able to eat, to have that basic necessity, to have that burden lifted off of their shoulder. If you have a business that you know is not supporting their employees, contact us. At least let us know a way we can help their employees. It is not the employee's fault. What is happening in this pandemic is not the fault of the employee. We cannot let them carry the burden of this while we sit at home comfortably. That is unacceptable. That is being an irresponsible citizen. I feel like I talked so much. If you guys have any questions, please let me know. I am more than happy to answer them if I have the capability to. Okay. Yes, unfortunately, since the pandemic, we have seen such a gap and a rift between expats and Kuwaitis. This is something that is not supposed to be here. Generations before, we never had this expat Kuwaiti mentality. However, recently this expat Kuwaiti mentality has been coming out so significantly, and that is a core problem for us as a country, because no country, especially a country like ours, can survive without our residents, our expats, our family and friends. Because realistically, there is no way we can survive as a country without them. Let's be realistic. These people have become our friends, family, staff, support system, allies, everything. So when you put a gap between the expat and the local, that is going to cause later on a rift that will essentially screw up the system. No one's going to want to come to Kuwait. Where are you going to find your employees? Where are you going to find your family and friends? Where are you going to find anyone to help you do everything that our system is? You're not gonna, because no one's gonna want to come to Kuwait if we continue on this path. Exactly. Honestly, I agree. Our economy was built by the help of expats. This was a two-man job. The people who helped Kuwait develop in this complete era, who taught our forefathers, who started with helping build our buildings, who help our systems, who help our ministries, who essentially help the foundation of the country, are expats. We can't live without them, honestly. As without that, a lot, and let's be realistic. Really, we're not going to be able to live without them. Why are we making life difficult? What is this ethnocentric ideology that is coming out? من متى احنا صرنا كذي؟ لأن if I'm not mistaken احنا كنا مسمينا ديرة الإنسانية، وأنا صراحة I'm not seeing very much of that recently، وهذا شيء وايد يزعلني، لأن احنا كنا معروفين. كرم الكويتيين كانت معروفة. الكويتيين كانوا the people who were so kind and so educated and so willing to help. Why is it that has changed? I've seen so many people, so many Kuwaitis, Jazakumullah khair, who have been so amazing. However, when you stay silent about the bad things that are being done, انت يعني ساكت عن الحق شيطان أخرس. Just think about that. You are aiding the flaw in the system. You are aiding the people who are doing wrong by not speaking up. If I could speak up and speak about the companies who are withholding pay, I wish I could. Because it's unacceptable, the companies that are able to pay but withholding it. بس بنفس الوقت I can't. And if I do that, I am liable for a defamation lawsuit, and that will stop me from getting to the parliament later on. And guys, honestly, I work so hard to change the view of people, to change the view of Kuwaitis towards expats, and change the view of expats towards Kuwaitis. We need to work hand in hand if we want to survive this crisis and this pandemic. We need to work hand in hand to get Kuwait to the point of the success and the development that we used to be in. There was a time where we were the top of the Khalij, but things started to decline. Whether it be technical difficulties, whether it be misunderstandings, whether it be khilafat bil-rai, we need to get us back there to the top, and we can't get there if we don't go hand in hand with locals and expats. Tala made a very valid point. There is a 53 million KD Corona fund that was donated. Honestly, I wish I could answer your question. I don't know because I just read something about it on Twitter. I have not been able to ask about it, nor have I been able to educate myself on that. But I don't know where the money went. I haven't seen anything that shows that they have started to use it. But again, I can't speak up about that because I'm not educated about that yet. I promise you my next live, I will do whatever I can to read up on that topic about the 53 million that was raised and see where it is going. I'm going to ask around and see what we can do, because unfortunately, we're not seeing much help. The Red Crescent مو ملحقين. The Red Crescent يعطيهم ألف عافية. The Red Crescent has been doing as much as it can, but again, can't do as much as it should, because there is such a huge amount of people that are suffering right now. The Kuwait Food Bank is doing as much as it can, but guess what? مو ملحقين. We don't have enough manpower. And by the way, Red Crescent, Kuwait Food Bank, MOI, what's it called? دفاع المدني. When you say we only accept Kuwaiti volunteers, why? I have expats expat friends and family who are willing to volunteer most of their time because they want to give back to the country that gave them so much growing up. But when you say no and you only limit it to Kuwaitis, ترى احنا ككويتيين we're not immune to corona. When you let us into lockdown zones and let us out, you're not helping. Yani, the numbers are rising in us as Kuwaitis, but you're still allowing us. Why can't my volunteers who have the permit to go in and out go in and out? Why? Because they're not Kuwaiti, but that's not fair. They're here volunteering for your country just like you are. ما في منطق بالموضوع. In my personal opinion, I don't see a منطق بالموضوع. I have to beg so many of my Kuwaiti friends to come volunteer with us because my actual volunteer can't get into the lockdown zones because they're not Kuwaiti. Why? But why, if they have a permit given to them by the Ministry of Interior, why can't they go in? Why is my ID better and I can go in and out freely? Just food for thought right there. Anyways, guys, I really hope you enjoyed this talk. Please, if you have any more questions, let me know. I would love to hear them. Yeah, if you do have any more questions, please let me know below. If not, I'll see you guys next time. Thank you. Yes, all lives do matter. You do have the right to go to Shu'un. Yes. Please, everyone in this live that is being withheld their pay, please know you have the right to go to Wizarat Shu'un and raise a case against your employer and get your money. Because that is literally the only thing you have. The government will stand with you on this. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. So I enjoyed this talk. I hope I kind of shed light on what's happening inside. I hope I shed light on the things and the steps that entrepreneurs should be taking. And I hope I shed a little bit of light on how we can get things, just how we can get people to step up for the roles. Thank you. وإذا عندكم أي أسئلة, quick, because we're running out of time. I feel like I needed to put background music. Oh, and just a quick last thought. If you are wondering, or you want to help out, you can contact me. You can contact Foodbox. You can contact SWS. You can contact The Monster. You can contact Shireen Blushi. You can contact Nadia Nasser. You can contact Can for Kuwait. Please know that these are, just off the top of my head, 7 different organizations who are taking on a huge load when it comes to supporting people in need right now. Please, yes, even Dom said it. Kuwaitis, I beg you, come volunteer with us because I need so many hands to get into lockdown zones. I need more people coming in and I need more people distributing because احنا مو ملحقين. We have an average of about 400 and something boxes going out per week, but that is not enough. So please, if you have volunteers or you have time to volunteer or you have time to just donate because we are running out of funds for these families, please jump in with us. Just come in and you know, we're always welcoming people. So please, I'm literally begging you guys. عربي إذا أنتوا تبون تتبرعون أو تبون تشاركون معنا بالتطوع، الله يخليكم تعالوا. إحنا دائما قاعد ندور على متطوعين وناس يساعدونا. فبليز join us. We'll talk about it later. I would love nothing more than to spread the list of these people. And I have really done my research on whether they are or aren't. And a lot of them are withholding pay. And the sad thing is I know a lot of them. Expats. Yes, okay, so expats, if you want to sponsor boxes, you're more than welcome. If you're living in an area where you are in a lockdown zone, please let us know if you're willing to help. I am willing to drop off boxes to you, give you a list of people, and let them come pick up the boxes for themselves. Please, please, please let me know if you're willing to do that. That would be amazing. We're trying to do that in as many lockdown zones as possible, especially Farwania. We have so many people that need help in Farwania and Jalib. If you know anyone that's willing to help us there, please let me know. I ran out of Perrier and Red Bull. Anyways, thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. I really, really hope I helped shed light on the topic. And if you have any more questions, please let me know by DM or on Twitter. And thank you, Khalid. Wallah, it means so much. It means so much. Please DM me if you're willing to help, if you want to sponsor boxes. And I am excited to see if there was any growth after this. If you know people who are in need, please get in touch with me. I'm going to send you the form that we have for you to fill out, and that way we can find a way to get them a box as soon as possible. Thank you guys so much. I really did enjoy this, and I hope you guys all have a good night. And yes, I will send you either a link or the bank details. Please do know that you need to use the term sponsor or just food box. Please don't use the term donations. It'll flag anyone's account that's involved in this. So please know that you can also contact Foodbox as a way to sponsor boxes, and Foodbox will refer these boxes to any of our teams. Thank you. You guys are amazing. Thank you all for all the support. Take care, guys.